Hi, and welcome back to 8 to 38, the Chronicles of a Young Entrepreneur.
What are we doing today?
We're making kindling.
You're cutting the wood for the kindling?
Yep.
Well, I'm cutting the wood for the kindling?
Yep.
Hey folks, welcome back to From 8 to 38, the Chronicles of a Young Entrepreneur. Thank you to Jackson for a nice introduction. Well, we are in the woods today and we are cutting some firewood, actually some stuff that's going to be kindling wood for Jackson's kindling stand. So we've already cut some nice standing dead oak. So we cut a few pieces of that we're going to mix in, and we just found a couple pine trees that were standing dead with no bark on them. So we got this pole right here, and it has only a little bit of bark on it here and there. And we're actually in the woods with the Ego saw today because honestly I didn't feel like running much of anything else. So that's what we're doing. We're going to be cutting this up into 12 to 14 inch pieces, so that way it's nice and easy to deal with for the kindling. And it's going to be good for him to split. And one of the things that we're going to do with this pine here, so as we look at this pine, you can see some knots right here and right here where the branches were out. So we're actually going to be cutting in between them just so it's a little bit nicer and it splits up a little bit easier. So we've got this one here that's going to get cut and put in the truck. Like I said, we're using the Ego battery power saw today. Didn't feel like pulling anything else out, and that was just nice and easy. Grab it and it's ready to go.
We have a steel just in case.
And we have our steel top handle just in case. All right, so we're going to cut just a little bit of this here and get it in the truck. It's almost dinner time. Okay, so we are going to just cut a little bit of this for Jackson. He's going to load it in the truck, and then we're going to head home for dinner. But we wanted to get a couple of these things cut down and cut up. That way he was ready to go before it got too late up in the year. All right, move back a little bit. I want you to move back some more, all right? Don't stand right in front of the saw. Like I said, we're just cutting between the knots a little bit to make it a little easier to deal with splitting wise. And I try to use an old stump just to hold the saw off the ground a little bit. Jackson wants to know why I don't want to use a new stump. It's because there's not a new one here, and the old one's nice and soft, so it works well. So we've got some nice pine here, and you can kind of see what I was talking about. So we wanted something with no knots in it, splits nicer, it's cleaner, and makes good kindling wood.
I can't throw them in.
All right, so there we go. There's the start of Jackson's kindling. You can see this is the pine that we'll be mixing in, and then these larger rounds are oak, and they were nice dry. You can see how they had no bark on them. They've been dead for quite a while and suspended. So the nice thing with this kind of work is it cleans up the woods, as well as Jackson is able to make a little bit of money off of this. So for those of you that don't know, he is doing his own little kindling business. And in the description of the video, I'll put a link to a couple of the other videos we've done of Jackson's kindling stand. So that is coming soon to Olive Ridge, New York, where you will be able to buy Jackson's kindling. So one of the things that we did, we went into the woods and we found some oak and pine that was nice and dry. So we cut that up, and he's been putting that aside and splitting it. But another thing that happened just recently was we were contacted to do a clean out job for somebody, and the property we were cleaning out, the guy had been a contractor for many, many years. So he had a whole bunch of miscellaneous trim wood, whether it be oak or pine, things like that. It was all undercover, it was all dry and all untreated. Now, he had a whole bunch of these different pieces, but nothing that was really marketable to any of the builders that I know, because he had one piece of one type of trim and then multiple pieces of another, so no real bundles, just a couple here and there. So what we did with that, we put aside all this trim that we couldn't use or didn't know anybody who could use, and Jackson is actually cutting some of this trim up to mix in with the pine and the oak that he was splitting up as well. So it was kind of neat. We're able to, instead of just throwing it in the dump, throwing it all away, able to repurpose this garbage basically, because that's what we were hired to do, throw it all away. We were able to repurpose it, and he is now cutting it. He's learned how to use a hand saw over the last couple days, and he's cutting it into kindling wood. So hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Hang on a minute.
I'm just measuring right now.
Oh, so you're measuring right now?
Yeah. I measured the saw, and so right here, I measured it. That's a whole 16.
Oh, so you're cutting them at 16 inches?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like what you told me to do.
Like what I told you, that's good. Why do we cut it at 16 inches?
So it's all the same.
So it's all the same. So you're marking out the whole piece and then you cut it?
Yep. So what I did before, I just used the measuring tape before. Well, and the chalk. Alright, and I'm just using the saw and wood now. It's a little hard.
So have you cut almost all the kindling, all the trim that was in the trailer?
Almost.
Wow, that's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. I started last night.
Looks like you've got a pretty good bucket going on here.
That's a whole bucket.
It is a whole bucket. It's a pretty big bucket. That's enough to do a couple bundles for sure.
At least 2.
We're going to have to split a little bit, then we can package it all up, all right?
Yep.
What do you think? Are you enjoying working?
Yes.
Yeah? What do you like about it?
About this, that I can just measure with the saw instead of having to know and mark the hard spots.
Oh, okay. So you just measure with the saw?
Yep, that's all I do. Because I measured the saw first to make sure. 16.
That's good. You always want to measure.
Yep. Just to make sure.
And this is all wood we got from a clean out job. We've got regular round firewood sitting up here staying dry for his kindling. Some pine and some oak. But we got some good trim as well, so we're using that up. Yep, we're using the trim up first. And we're learning how to split safely. Right now we're just setting the hatchet on the piece of wood and then tapping. That way we have less injuries. We have Whiskey supervising. We have Roche supervising. Hi, Roche. Hello. Hi, Whiskey. Jackson's just about done for the day. We wrapped 3 bundles earlier.
Yep.
Might be enough for a 4th one here.
I doubt it.
And this is all wood from a clean out job that we did.
Oh.
Had a whole bunch of junk trim
Some
that
with
couldn't be
paint.
used anymore. All the painted stuff got thrown out, and this is the stuff that didn't have paint on it.
This is the stuff Daddy said.
This is the stuff I said we could use, that's right. Alright, pick that up. This is how we're doing it. We're putting it in a bucket that came from planting trees earlier this year.
Well, yeah, basically. One of these were.
Okay. So how many bundles do you have sold so far?
3.
3 bundles?
Yep.
Here, hold on. How many bundles do you have sold so far?
3.
3 bundles. Who are they for?
Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Bradley. So Mr. Bradley, if you're watching this, there's 3 bundles that are ready for you.
Yep, and I'm just making the 4th one.
You're making the 4th one. Yep. And then, who else do you have to make bundles for?
Have to make 5 for Mr. James.
5 for Mr. James. All right.
4 for Mr. Bradley and 5 for Mr. James.
So 9 you have to make first, huh?
Yep.
And then you can actually start selling them somewhere else? Okay.
Thank you for watching, and please share with other people.
All right. Thanks for watching From 8 to 38, the Chronicles of a Young Entrepreneur, Jackson's Kindling Stand. And once we have a location for that stand, we will let you know where you can stop and pick up some kindling if you'd like. Thanks for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please share, and don't forget to comment. We absolutely love to read the comments, and Jackson's been enjoying reading comments that people have left for him. So thank you very much. Have a great day.